Here we are in Charlottesville today. We're putting in one of Toru Oba's Nami fountain. So actually the name of this one is quite a large rock. You'll see it tomorrow. We're going to be putting it in tomorrow. We're prepping the site for it now. You're basically doing a garden pond with the rubber underlayment and these matrix cubes that you'll see right there. It's like a milk crate on steroids. It's a lot stronger than a milk crate. You cover this whole system. It's going to be a closed system, so it's going to be rock on top of this system. Rubber garden pond liner, and underneath this liner we've got a couple of rows of felt underlayment because this rock we're putting on here is going to be about 3,000 pounds, so we do want plenty of support underneath. It's also about 2 inches of sand underneath. And then we've got this liner pulled in. Tomorrow we'll set the rock, we'll put in more of these crates, and where the crates won't fill in, we'll fill in with rock. And it'll create a closed system. The plumbing will run from this corner right here. We'll put in a pump box. So your plumbing will run out to the fountain unit, and then the electric will come out and go over there to that plug-in. Been working on this. It's the second day. We dug the hole yesterday, been forming it up today, finishing it up, getting it all cleaned up and ready to put this liner in. And that'll be the last thing we do before Toru Oba comes in tomorrow and sets his big water sculpture. And they're working on that pump box over there right now. Put some slits in it so the water can come into it. See, we're ready for the rock to be delivered. Sitting there on the truck. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get it close enough for the boom to rest it onto the pond. So it's going to require Toru to bring some scaffolding and bring it over probably about a foot at a time. I always like to say if it was easy, everybody'd do it. So this is plan B. It would have been a whole lot easier if we'd been able to bring the truck over close enough to get into the site. You can kind of see that there's actually a little road at the top of that hill. It comes down here, and right there he was afraid he wouldn't be able to get back up over the hill. So here's where we're at. Here we are with the boom lifting the rock. Probably weighs every bit of 3,000 pounds. I'm not sure exactly what it weighs. This is the Nami fountain. This is the nervous part when you pull it off of that truck. You got all that weight on the strap. Yeah. Setting the 4,000 pound Nami rock. Say hi, Corey.
Hey.
Okay, here we have Toru. Let me get a zoomed up picture of Toru. He's so pretty. Say hi, Toru. There we go. All right.
I think it's hitting the corner of this.
Yeah. I have to lift it up a little bit.
Is it hitting the strap or is it hitting the corner of that block?
Where is it hitting? Did you say?
I wonder where it's hitting. I mean, if it's
No. I mean,
the strap, it's okay, but the block, we don't want it.
Hey, Corey, could you lift us a little bit more?
Toru's leveling the Nami fountain right now. One thing about this fountain, since there's so many outlets for the water to come out of, it has to be absolutely perfectly level. So he's going to have to go around, jack up each side. Of course, when you jack up one side, it puts the other side out of level, so you just got to keep working with it till you get it in completely level. You kind of see where he's working there. They actually changed this rock around. The point that you see right there was going to be at the complete opposite. And once we got the rock here delivered with their landscape architect designer, they decided to pitch it around so that window right there will have a better view of being able to see the front water spewing out of that point right there. And you can kind of see the features all the way around on the stone that Toru carved here. Toru, this is soapstone coming out of Schuyler, Virginia, right?
It's in Alberine soapstone. Actually, it comes from Albemarle County side.
Albemarle County side.
Yeah.
Near Schuyler, right?
Near Schuyler, yeah.
And some people may have heard of Schuyler. If you ever watched the Waltons, the television series out of the 1970s, Schuyler was actually where John Boy Walton lived. That was Walton's Mountain, Schuyler, Virginia. So if you've heard of Schuyler, that's where the quarry was. And I think they even mentioned it during the series a couple of times at the soapstone quarry within that series. So that was the boyhood home of the fictitious of John Boy, but the character's based on real life. I can't remember his name right now, but anyway, he was a writer and wrote, I think, these television shows basing it off his childhood memories. So this is where that rock came from. It's actually soapstone. Toru, you said this is one of the hardest stones in the world?
No, this is the second hardest, but for Alberine stones,
right?
this is pretty hard.
So this second hardest stone in the world?
I mean, it's in the soapstone.
In the soapstones,
yeah,
okay.
That's for the Schuyler, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And actually, this is this Alberine stone. It's called medium hardness. But, this is pretty hard.
This is what they use. You've probably heard of soapstone. They actually use it a lot in chimneys because it's so dense it absorbs the heat, and it'll keep radiating heat for a long time after the fire has actually gone out. So if you've heard of soapstone, that's one of its many uses, and that is what the quarry is there for.
They use for also countertop.
Countertops too.
Yeah.
And don't they use it for inside of wood burning stoves and things too?
Yeah.
And that is because of the denseness, right?
Yeah.
You can see, Toru, it took you how long to carve this? About 2.5 months?
Yeah.
So 2.5 months to carve
polished
this.
by hand, everything.
Everything by hand.
Yeah.
So we're working on it right now. I'm going to put this camera down and start working on the berm around it a little bit. We don't want water to run inside of this water system. We don't want this dirt, mulch, and things to wash inside of there. So we'll berm it all the way around. Make sure that water drains away from it and not in it. And then once we get that part done, we'll pull that liner in completely, put the matrix boxes in it, hook up the pump to it, plug it in, and see what kind of splash pattern we have. And then we can make some adjustments if we need to make sure we catch all that splash. Since we've got that rock turned around on us now to what it was, I may need to make some adjustments. I really won't know until I plug it in now. So I will show you the rest of this when we get it completed. Well, we have it running. You see the water's really dirty. That comes from the rock, dirt on the rocks. That'll settle down and be gone in a couple of days. It'll clear right back up. This is a well for the pump. Actually pumps down in there. It gives you access. Take that top off. Those are the matrix boxes. You can kind of see the purpose of those. Each one of those matrix boxes right there holds 11 gallons. So you can kind of estimate how much water this capacity you'll have in a fountain like this. The old way of doing it was you just filled the whole thing up with rock, but the rock displaced almost 90% of the water, so it really wasn't a lot of water, and you would have ended up adding water a lot to this. With these matrix boxes, I estimate this capacity to be somewhere between 250. If it were just full of rocks, it would probably be down, 40-50 gallons. So it does make sense to use those matrix boxes. The homeowner, we did some switching around this. When we first started this, it was going to be, the point rock was actually going to be out the front of the house here. They chose to entirely swing it around. And you can see there's features all the way around this fountain. So there's not one side that doesn't have water pouring out of it, and each one is different. Doing a little cleaning up here right now. We've got to come back on Monday. We'll put in those black Mexican beach rocks that you see right there in that crate. And that will go on top. And that will complete the job then. And when we'll cut the liner around the edges. And I'll make sure that we come back and film it so you can see it when it's completely done. Hopefully by then the water will be cleared up a little bit. It's getting toward the weekend right now, so we'll be back in a couple of days. Here we are the last day. Hopefully we'll finish this up here in a couple of hours. This is the Nami fountain. Toru's there looking at it right now. Toru, you do a lot of sculpture work, a lot of water features.
Yeah.
And Toru's he's been all over the world. He was born in Japan in what year, 1945?
Yeah.
45. Yeah, so he's getting kind of old, but he's been all over the world. He learned stone. He's a world famous stonemason. A few years ago, how long ago did you start sculpting, Toru?
What is that?
How long ago did you start sculpting?
Pretty well ago. Full time, maybe 12 years ago.
12 years ago. So you can kind of see, this is the Nami fountain. I think one thing that I see that Toru does, and I'm not exactly an art critic, but I think it's, rather than just stone sculpting, it's also water sculpting. You can kind of see the way that he's got the water coming out of there. All the way around it, it's kind of he's using the water to sculpt too. And as we go all the way around this, you can kind of see the unique features. Hopefully you can see this on the video, and the way the water comes out over the stone is kind of a water sculpting is what I would call it. So the homeowner's really happy with this. This was something they just fell in love with when they came to the store there at Southern Grace. And this stone has gotten a lot of rave reviews since we had it on display there at the store. And you can see Toru is quite proud of it. And Toru, you're working on some things right now. What are you working on? A bench, a stone bench?
I'm working the bench and also another fountain and a couple of structures,
Right.
I'm working like 6-7 pieces right now.
6 or 7 pieces at one time.
Yeah. So I don't get bored.
So work on one a little while and go to another one, right?
Right.
Toru is available for commission work as well. You can see his work at the store. You can also check out his website. It's torooba.com, and there's a link in our website into his. So if you want to come into Southern Grace website, you can go in there and see some of his work. We have video on YouTube of some of his work, and we hope to video him one day doing some carving work. That would be kind of interesting. Maybe we'll go out and shoot a video one day of that. So if you have any questions, give us a call. Nami fountain is done. Somebody's going to be coming in here tomorrow to do the mulch in the planting areas. I think they're going to do a lot of grasses in this area. The ore is still kind of dirty from the dirt on the rocks. Within 2 days that'll be clear. This is the view they're going to have of this particular fountain right out their window. You can see a lot of action going on there, a lot of pretty parts of that rock to look at. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. This is the Nami Fountain. If you have any questions, you can reach us at Southern Grace at 540-948-2239. You can check out our website, www.southerngraceva.com. Email southerngraceva@aol.com. We have 2 YouTube channels, which we do have links in our website. You can also go into YouTube and punch in Southern Grace VA and also Fountain Guru 2010. That'll take you to some of these videos that we have in YouTube. Be adding more as we go. This turned out really nice. I think the homeowner is very pleased. I know Toru is really excited about it. It does look wonderful right here, and once they get the grasses around, the mulch around, it's going to look even better.